So, how do we defend ourselves against an attack with a chain?
Hello warriors, today we are going to talk about an interesting idea which is self-defense against a chain. This video is brought to you by one of you fans because you actually left a comment saying that one of your friends actually got beaten up by a chain. A guy attacked him, he got pretty beaten up, so how shall we defend against it? Was the question, and today we are here to solve this mystery. How do we beat someone if he has a chain? We haven't actually seen how the chain was used, but there are multiple ways the attacker can use it. The first of all, which would be one of the more dumb ones, it would be using it like a boxer, taking it across the hand and just hitting it with it. The problem here is, as you can see, it's not very pleasant on the hand, and if you actually think about actually generating force and striking with it, there's a big chance that your hand would just break. And because this doesn't change if it's a chain there or a boxer or just normal hand, you would react the same way as if it would be any other hand. So the more common way of using this would be to swing with it. And now there are a couple of options. Is it the first one when you have the biggest reach, but when you can see it actually being delivered, it takes away all of the fastness and the impact of the strike. So this is probably still not the best idea that people would use when they are attacking with this. More common and more sense would make if it actually would turn around their arm. And now the strikes are a lot quicker, they have much more impact, and as you can see, it delivers a lot more power because of the weight distribution. The same would be if someone would have a baseball bat and you wouldn't be holding it with one hand but two hands. And the same goes if I want to take it away. Now because the chain is there, I cannot take it away. So probably even the basic like would know that he needs to wrap the chain around the hand. Now, when you are looking at, he has it wrapped around, which is going to be our biggest concern, is how is he actually attacking with it. Because one could be more of a slashing motion, which as you can see right here. The second one would be more into how SORUDO uses this type of weapons, which would be more of a direct step point hit than as opposed to a slashing one. But this is more as to how SORUDO uses weapons. A biggest probability is if the person has the chain, he will be using the slashing motion. We use it like this because when we are using like improvised weapon when it comes to a purse or something like a belt, it is hidden still here, and until the very last moment it's going to be very quick, and all of a sudden you have it in your face, as opposed to you can see us charging with the weapon. That's the biggest difference why we would say that if we use this weapon, use it like this. Of course, like the chain, you're going to see that the chain is already ready, but if it would be a purse or a belt, it's not as visible as the chain. The little disadvantage of this is that you cannot just repeat the attacks after it, because once you do it, now it takes way too much time to get back to it, especially with the chain. So what makes more sense is do the first hit like we showed you, and then follow up with the strikes because it doesn't take as much time between the hits. And the last would be actual choking with the chain like you saw in the beginning of the video. But let's leave this for a next topic because it doesn't matter if it's going to be the chain, if it's going to be the rope, or is it going to be a plastic bag. All of those will be exactly the same under the neck. So let's leave that for the next video. Today, the focus is going to be on the guy who's trying to really beat us with the chain. We are strictly not going to talk about you using it for your defense, because you always have the chain with you because you have a bike and it's a chain from the bike, and you will try to do something like blocking the knife or a strike and going around it and all these kind of things. First of all, it's not good. Second of all, this is not the theme of the video. But just for you to see how actually the speed and the power of the chain is, we are going to show it right on the bob. So it now here grabs the chain and starts hitting. Aye. So as you can see, the strikes are telegraphed. You have to make some big swings, but if it actually touches, like now it did on the bob, like we can imagine this tearing up a few teeth out of your mouth, because it does actually have a lot of impact power. To see the difference, this would be the second type of attack, which is a SORUDO way of using this chain, which is actually hitting it short and quick strike to the face. When it comes to the chain overall, what you need to take it into consideration is it's not the stick where the strike just comes and it ends. The chain will always follow up because of the energy. Pierre now knows, as he was practicing hitting the bob, it actually came back and hurt his finger. So that's for you. If you are ever going to train with this, take a big step back and think about twice, because the same goes if you are trying to swing. Every single time it's going to go to the back and will hit you when you are swinging, or it comes and wraps back. The same goes if you hit the person or the bob and it comes back and strikes yourself, because it's not as easy as a stick where you hit and it just stays on the spot. This is going to hit and wrap around him, by yourself as well. So if you want to train with a chain, definitely take something like this, which is a plastic one. But even with this, as we test it, it still definitely hurts and it definitely leaves a mark. Yeah, it's not pleasant to get hit with this more than once. So if train with it, take a plastic one. Even better, try to bolster up every single part of the chain, but then think twice about is it even worth it, all this work, because you could spend the time with training with different weapons than the chain. But if this way. Now let's actually walk into how do we defend ourselves against this. Well, many people's first reaction would be to just stand there and try to block, but like now you're taking the full force and you're just standing there and it starts hitting you. Like a couple of hits with this and I think the fight is slowly getting closer to the end. Second and first, this is not a stick, so now if you leave the hand there, the chain is going to continue and wrap around. Even worse when it wraps around and can hit me. But also what can happen, it wraps around your hand and strikes you to the face, which now can be a double-edged sword. It could be advantage for me, but a big disadvantage for you, because even when you block, the chain has to go somewhere and will hit you even if you block it. The same goes if he only hits the hand. Like I can literally break hands with this. If you're going to just leave it there, I can see a little bit of the distance and I just am hitting, and it's just going to take not much steel on the bone to break it. That goes to if you're thinking about stepping back away and creating the distance, I can see the distance, and even if you are getting away, I can still keep striking because you will have the hands there, and I can still kind of see how far I can reach, and I'm quicker going forward than you are moving backwards. So the thing here would be to not move backwards, but move actually into the attacker. But there's a big difference between I have a stick and you get inside and it just stops by your hand, or you go inside and the chain follows through. So even if you get it there and you block, it follows through or your head, on your hand, or somewhere here. And now with a big impact, it still goes through. The solution only is the hamster even in this situation. It's the same if I would have a stick, although a little bit different. I have the chain, you need to go to me and going, hitting me, but not staying in just one path, as you saw, because the chain will follow through. You actually are in a 45-degree angle. So if we go from here, slower, I charge, you hit, and I'm missing, and you are hitting me on the way as you are crossing next to me. But that's all when we are talking about you are fighting with your hands. But why would you fight against a guy who has a chain just with your bare hands? Because you can choose to wear the pistol, the telescopic button, the pepper spray. Or the weapons that are legal in your country. Of course, like that would be a better solution. All the way to it's improvisation weapon. So there's no chance for me to have the button. But I see, okay, there's a chair, and now I'm fighting with a person who has a chain with a chair. Either I strike or I throw, using the lamps, using the cars, and running away from it. Basically, if you will follow the system of the 7 steps you need to do during any encounter, the problem will get solved if you will be able to go step by step and have your own weapon. So if we take it into perspective, I'm the attacker, you do recognize the threat, you do not just ignore it, you start creating the distance and you prepare your weapon. And the whole self-defense against chainsaw is basically done. The same goes if you have been following us and you have a telescopic button with you. The same applies, you take the weapon out, and now it's, although I still have bigger reach, because if you look at the reach of baton and here, I still have it longer, but that still means you are not fighting with bare hands but with a stick, and you have the chance of hitting my hand or hitting the chain and coming after me. Let alone look at the fact of why would a single person attack me with a chain? Like there's not a big probability of it happen because there's a comment, of course, but in more cases it will be something like a couple of punks who have different types of weapons, from pipes to butterflies, and there probably could be a chain. In these cases, yes, but then we are dealing with 5 people and not just 1. And still it goes back to the same point, do I want to have nothing or I want to have a freaking stick in my hand? Hopefully this was the answer to your question, how do you fight against a chain and how you not train with a chain. It happens, we do not cry about it, but let us know in the comments what other weapons you may encounter on the street and you are afraid of them and you want Peter to show you how to defend against those. Definitely let us know, and like the video if you did enjoy, subscribe to see more videos like this, and we'll see you in the next crazy video like this. Thank you for watching, bye.